This week on Pivot with Purpose. I just don't know where on the spectrum I like because I've never actually gotten tested for it. All I've had is ADHD, and I do also know that ADHD has a lot of the same symptoms as autism. What are some of your symptoms that you're like definitely on the spectrum?
Definitely for me, it's a lot of the sensory stuff, which I know is ADHD related as well. But it's a lot of the like missing social cues, and it's really funny because whenever I'm in public, I think probably about every like rato, like 10 minutes, I think to myself like, you're doing a really good job, Ari. Like nobody here thinks you're weird right now. Like every 10 minutes, I have to do a check in with myself, and also just like I don't like people touching me. If somebody comes like, "Hey, how are you?" I'll be like, "Hi." You're not on the list.
Hey friend, you're listening to Pivot with Purpose. This is my show where I pivoted from shit I'm 30, where I was dreading turning 30. I had a failed marriage, failed engagement after that, and I don't have a relationship with my immediate family. But through it all, I came out the other side with a thriving business, an unexpected radio morning show of my own, and a platform where I can reach millions of people and help them walk in their truth. I am now celebrating every step of my journey into continuously finding my purpose, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Sometimes this journey looks like shit, and it probably sounds even worse, but it's still our journey, and I'm learning right along with you to enjoy it. There's always a rainbow after the rain falls. Now, if you need advice in pivoting in any aspect of your life, relationships, career, spirituality, send your questions or story to askcarlawilmaris@gmail.com or shoot me a DM at Carla Wilmaris. Now, let's start the show. Welcome back to another episode of Pivot with Purpose. This is actually the first time that I'm trying this setup at home, and if this works perfectly for me, I do it for everybody else. This is the first time doing it for me, so if this works for me, it's fucking over. I'm about to be Joe Rogan and drop episodes like every week. Every day, I mean. Every day. Y'all gonna get sick of me. Okay, I'm lying. I'm not. You're still gonna be once a week, though. Once a week, you'll get me, but probably from home, it's a little bit easier. This episode, I always say I'd be hyped about stuff, but I'm so excited about this because it's the only person that I have on the episode or on the podcast that I feel like matches, if not beats my ADHD crazy. Like, I don't think I've ever felt like I've never felt so seen online. And it was like, I'm going to stalk her. And the problem is that because she's so much like me, I know she's going to forget and lose the fucking DMs. And every heartache that I give everyone else, I got it right back. So without further ado, because I want to start this quickly, we are in two different sides of the country, but we made it fucking work. I really wanted it in person, but I'm going to get what I can get because I'm not going over there just yet. I'm going to go, but I don't know when. But when I do, we're going to do it again. I have Ariana, Ari ADHD from Instagram.
What's up, guys? Good to be here. This has been a long time in the making, and it's just like two ADHD girls trying to make plans to hook up, and we're here now.
I think it would work for me if, like, this is how it works with my friends in town. I just have to call, and it's impulse. Hey, do you want to go somewhere? And you have to be ready. I have to be ready. That's the only way we can go.
Wait, let me tell them how it happened. Let me tell them how it happened, okay? My mom calls, says, I want the kids for the weekend. I said, bet. I call my man. I said, I'm on my way, 4 hours away, right? He has this podcast studio, right? And then I called Carla, and I said, I got a studio. Don't worry about it. Just out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. First of all, she said 5 p.m. Eastern time, and I was like, I don't understand that. So I thought Pacific time. So, I mean, we had this whole debacle, but it has to be impulsively done. I threw my shit. I threw my shit in the car. I hit up Nordstrom Rack once I got here, and now we're here. There's no rhyme or reason to anything I packed or did, but now we're here impulsively.
You look good though. That dress, you said you had to get some extracurricular activities out the way before you got on, so you feel energized.
I feel energized. I feel at peace, and I'm a little hungry, and I need my back scratched. But we're gonna take care of that a little bit later. That's a different podcast.
Okay. We'll definitely get into that later. Maybe not. But before we start, I do want to start the show with a Florida man story. This one came from Paola. I was like, I need help. And it made so much sense for me because do you happen to have anyone's ashes in your house? Like a person's ashes?
No.
Oh, pásame ese urn. Yeah. A urn. So I
No,
usually
pero
carry
tú
this guy
estás
around.
loca.
That's not the only one.
There's another one over there, but this is the big one. I'll just bring the big one out. So my house is like technically a cemetery.
Oh,
I'm trying to get the tax cut if it's really a thing that I say on TikTok. But this is my dad, and he lives here. So does my grandpa, and my grandma's on the way. It's fine. It's no biggie.
hola,
But
pa.
apparently, I'm not the only one that has respect for ashes and people's ashes, because there's a Florida man. He's a thief, but a good, honest thief. He stole a car here in Florida. It was a 2023 Dodge Charger Hellcat Red Eye. Like,
Okay.
seems like a pretty cool car, like room type
If
shit.
I-
I get it.
If I were gonna steal it, that's the one.
That's the one to steal. All right. So the residents expected someone that bust out the passenger window. He took out the Hellcat out of the neighborhood and took off with the car. Now, basically, the man looks in and sees some ashes in loving memory of Lorena Leonard. It was special. It's a last call. She got her mother's name, got Jesus on both sides. So some of his mother's ashes were inside the cup holder of that Hellcat. So Carter was shocked to find the stolen ashes hanging out in his mailbox Tuesday morning. So homeboy came back and dropped the ashes off, but kept the car.
Yeah, because he's not a monster. He's not a monster.
Yeah.
No,
And
just a
all
thief.
I'm just saying is that I feel like Loretta was a fucking G. Because if Wilmer would have been in my Tahoe, when a nigga came up in here and tried to take my shit, he would have came out like, hey, bring me back. She got insurance, bring me back. And that would have been outside. And he would have like, pick a house. The one in the front, the side, just leave me somewhere around here. Wilmer would have said something. And this is only half his ashes, so I don't know if it's his foot, his upper body, or his lower body, but he would have kicked and punched the nigga in the face. I don't know. But
That foot would have been straight up the ass, I'll tell you that.
But it's such a Florida thing, because I feel like, I don't know about you, but you probably hear Florida getting a pretty bad rap when it comes to like us being a little cuckoo in the head.
What do you mean getting a bad rap? I've never heard it with a good one. Like, the shit that happens over there.
See, but you see, they don't talk about the people that do the shit, and we have hearts. We
That's true.
return
That's true.
ashes.
That's
like
true.
sometimes we want to fight alligators, but there must be a reason for it.
Right?
Yeah,
Right.
it probably ate their dog. It probably ate their dog. There's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a rhyme and reason to us. All right, Wilmer, that's it. Enough time.
Gracias, apa.
Yeah, he can be on the floor. He's fine. He's done worst. And the 60 years he was here, I'm sure he
You
did
know
some
what?
things.
I gotta find out. I have to find out if that man who stole it was like black or Latino, because I feel like if it was a white man, he wouldn't have given two shits. He would have put flowers in it. You know,
I
he
really
would've-
do think so. He had
you
to
know?
have had some melanin on him.
Exactly,
To
because we're
respect the
more
dead like that.
spiritual. Yeah, we're more spiritual with our elders and with the dead. I never seen a white person respect a dead person in my life. In fact, they just want the money. I am half white, and let me tell you, people die, and we're like, call the lawyers, please.
Call the lawyers right away.
Call the lawyers. No.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you that because you speak Spanish very well, and clearly you're really intact with your Mexican side. And I'm like, oh, she's Mexican, but you are very white passing. But there's Mexicans that look just like you completely, and they're full Mexican. So you're not full Mexican.
No, I'm half Mexican and half Swedish.
So that's like almost like real life Caucasian.
Trust me, it is Caucasian as fuck. There's no. My mom was a high school English teacher. I was a high school English teacher. You know, it's a genetic disorder that we have in our family. They're all high school English teachers, extremely white. My brother is the same blood as me, and he does not speak a lick of Spanish.
Really? So did you grow up with both parents?
No, mi papá se fue como todos los mexicanos. He left. So que Dios le bendiga. He's out there with some more kids. But anyways, I got his eyelashes and his accent. I don't know.
Okay. So how did you learn Spanish? Your mom knows Spanish?
No, she doesn't know shit. I had to teach myself. So I live in the Imperial Valley. It's the border of Arizona, California, and Mexico. So I live like 10 minutes away from Mexicali, Baja California. And so our culture here, we're 97% Hispanic. That's a made up number in my head, but it sounds right. So like it was either get with it or get lost. You know, the white kids, they're the ones that got made fun of. You know, you don't speak Spanish, it's like you're gonna get te aguantas la carrilla. Like you're gonna have to, you know? So I through jobs, I worked, first of all, I married a Mexican man. They're so fine.
Okay.
They're so fine.
He was fine or he's not fine?
He was so fine. That man. Look,
Wait, is he dead?
Carla, you don't know this about me?
No.
I'm a widow.
Not this.
So when you were like, do you have anybody's ashes? I was all, bitch, nah.
Oh, so honestly, I'll tell you, I've been watching, but what resonates with me is the fact that we're fucking crazy, according to neurotypical people. So that's where I got stuck at. I'm like, so now I don't know if you're kidding or not. So you're for real?
No, I am for real. Yeah, I was married for 7 years. My husband passed away. I have 3 beautiful children with him. I
just feel like a total dickhead. Like that was the one thing you could have researched, bitch.
If it's one thing that we had is a sense of humor, okay? He was my best friend. It's all good. But anyways, so when you asked about the ashes, I was like, nah, his mama has him. I don't have it. There wasn't enough sage in the world for that man.
I had no idea. I was thinking maybe like a grandfather or something.
No. We're white. We bury them, remember? No. So anyways, I worked in a couple seasons, a couple temporadas in the field, doing cebolla. I traveled for the asparagus. So I learned a lot of Spanish there, working field labor and then working at Marshall's.
Like literal field in the sun?
Correct, girl. Correct.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. That is, I did not know I'm telling you, you're just my ADHD friend.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to me, but I mean, you have to learn Spanish because.
Wait a minute. You know how they say that the Mexicans keep taking, they don't want these jobs. Nobody wants these jobs, just the Mexicans. You're the one that took the job. You're the Mexican that takes the jobs.
One thing about me is this swiper's gonna swipe. Okay, so I took it. It was mine, and I took it. You know, and the way you do it is you just show up to the bus stop, and if they take you, they take you. You know. I was a cute little thing, and so they all had bets. They all had bets on me. Okay, like she's gonna come, she's not gonna last, she's gonna get sick, she's not gonna come back the next day. And guess what? I got my Budweiser 40 on the bus ride back, just like everybody else, and my cacahuates. And I said, "What's up? I'll see you tomorrow." And guess what? I lasted.
How long ago was that?
That was in 2000. It was after I graduated high school because I already had Oliver my junior year. So that was in 2012. Oliver was 2 years old.
I know that you and I were both teen moms, so you were doing basically whatever you had to do to provide for your child.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, man, I did not bring the ashes to, hopefully I didn't trigger anything. Not that I'm not very easily triggered by that, so hopefully you're not either.
Nah, you know when people are like, "Oh, that was so triggering," and most of the time in my head, I'm just like, I thought it was fucking hilarious, but
it's the stupidest things that trigger me, like really loud noise all at the same time.
Yeah, I was hysterical. That'll send me. That's enough. That's enough for me.
Right. It'll be like the quirkiest things, like the most inappropriate things. I'm like, what was the problem? I don't understand.
But death could never.
It could never. Okay, cool. So now since we have warmed up, we talked about this. Really, the reason why I wanted to bring you on is because I definitely see myself in you and how you're able to articulate your brain and you being neurodivergent and being a mom in that space. And for me, I've always known it. And I think my friends see it, but I've never really talked about it in a way where it can make sense. I just kind of send a meme. I see a meme and I send it to my friends like, that's me.
I don't really do therapy. I just send a meme.
Well, I do go to therapy, but for my friends and people around me to understand, I never really bothered to teach them. It's kind of like, take me as I am. This episode of Pivot with Purpose is brought to you by Ford. Why is being open to new roads and possibilities essential to success when chasing your goals? For me, it's so important to pivot. Obviously, why the name of this podcast is Pivot with Purpose. It's imperative to allow yourself the freedom to change course at any moment when your energy is shifting. When you literally pivot with purpose, doors open up, opportunities fall on your lap, and you have so much more time to spend with your loved ones and with yourself. So break free from your day-to-day and start enjoying the little things in life that truly bring you joy. On the road of reinventing ourselves, it's just as vital to find those little things in life that give you a sense of stability, like the new Explorer. You know there's more to discover, and the 2025 2025 Ford Explorer SUV is here to give you space for the things that matter most. It's time to break free from the norm, which has never been more fun and accessible for drivers with the 2025 Ford Explorer SUV. Turn up the adventure with Ford Digital Experience, including a 13.2-inch center touchscreen. Do what matters with the help of available Ford Blue Cruise driver assist technology for hands-free highway driving. Available feature on Blue Cruise equipped vehicles, Blue Cruise requires a connected service plan and a modem activation. Blue Cruise drive assist features can be activated in hands-free Blue zones and do not replace safe driving, and drivers need to control the vehicle. See Ford.com/Blue Cruise for more details on available plans and hands-free models. Start your next adventure in America's all-time best-selling SUV. Based on S&P Global Mobility, 1946 current U.S. total, new cumulative registrations for all vehicles identified as SUVs. The new Ford, well, you know what it is. It's on the name, the new 2025 Ford Explorer, built Ford proud.
And that's it. I don't try to teach anyone or explain
But
to
don't
them
you feel
why
like you
I
want
have
to?
the quirks that I have. Huh?
Don't you feel like you want to though? Like
All
if
the
it
time,
was
but
up to
these
me,
idiots don't get it. They're just neurotypicals.
because it's our hyper focus. We're just like, I want to tell you all the weird and quirky things about me, and like I want to send you like 100 memes, but I'm gonna hold back. I'll send you 4.
You
But
ever
I
felt like
want
you
to
sent too
send
many
you.
memes?
No. Like I wish I had that. I wish I had that. I wish I felt like I wish there was a limit that I could reach saying like this is enough, but the limit does not exist.
So I think I mask a lot. I had to mask for
Yeah.
so long
Yeah.
that when I'm aware sometimes that I am being too much for them. Sometimes I don't care. Actually, most times I don't care. But there are other times with certain people that I'm like, all right, maybe I already sent 20. Let me wait for a response before I send 20 more. Like, I'll just kind of like, think how they think. They wouldn't send 20 if anyone else would look from the outside and think that's a little stalkerish or like a little loserish.
But check it out. If our friends are sending us 20 memes, we're like, haha, haha, haha. Like we're just like, look how much they love me. They're sending me memes all day, like best friends.
Yeah, or sometimes I
Right?
ignore them. I do. Or I get too busy. I
But
open
you
them.
see them.
I do.
But you
Oh, I
see 'em.
absolutely. It's gonna say seen, and I'm gonna open it, and I'm gonna scroll through it, and usually out of the 20, a few will catch my eye right away, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I caught that one. But then like to go through all 20 and keep my mind there, it's really hard because something else squirrel caught my eye, and I'm gone.
No, we are the meme masters. The ones that we like in the series of 20, the ones that we react to, that's how we have to calibrate our friends. Like, these ones were funny. Please tailor my meme sending more to this. Thank you.
Yes,
We
like
have to train
Spotify
them.
and my music.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Look at what
We
I liked.
are.
I really enjoyed. Okay, so literally diving into the real shit, like the stuff that people can say, oh, that's actually politically correct. When were you diagnosed with ADHD, and when did you know?
Okay, everybody has this story. I was diagnosed when I was 17.
Okay.
But if we're being fucking for real, uh, man, I came out of the womb with that. There's too many stories that I was just like, nobody caught that? Nobody was concerned about
Nobody?
me. Nobody caught that. So I would say like around 6 years old, around first grade, because I also had dyslexia and dyscalculia. So
You have
so reading,
dyslexia?
yes. So reading and
Okay.
then numbers as well were super hard for me. But I will, we're super fucking smart kids. We're always kind of
Ridiculously.
oddly in the top of our class, but if you go by a letter grade, we're not, because we don't turn in our homework because it's at the back of our mom's
That
car.
scene.
So, but I mean, any standardized test, like we're above and beyond, right? So, anyways,
Above. As long as I was in class and I showed up and listened, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. Like, as long as I listened and I was there, I didn't do homework, I didn't study for my test, and I would still get A's and B's. I definitely had a 4.2 GPA before I got pregnant and couldn't go back to school. But that was
yeah,
besides
me
the point.
too.
That my senior year, I was pregnant most of the time, and I still, to this day, I'm 37, and there's days that I get nightmares that I didn't graduate because I missed so many days of school. By the grace of God, I graduated with like a 3.5. I still had a Bright Future scholarship, but I went from a 4.2 to 3.5 because I was missing so much school and I was high risk. So you can remember from the age of 60. I can't remember much of my childhood. Maybe because you had a white mom. Did you get a lot of beatings? Because I did.
No, let me tell you something that we call my mom the Catherine. Okay, the Catherine, she's a boss bitch and everything, but one thing she did wrong She did not beat us, and I needed to be
You
beaten
did
so
wrong.
bad. I needed to be beaten so badly. I needed some sense knocked into me. But I had my friends' moms to beat me. They were Mexican, so I got the chocolate from them. But they don't discriminate with beatings. But
It's just whoever.
somebody needed to calm me the fuck down. Somebody needed to say, like, sit your fucking ass down in that chair and finish your Fruit Loops, you know? But
Oh,
no, my mom
okay, so
was
I guess
very
balance.
my mom was very like hippie parenting, very like, if that's what your body's telling you to do, go ahead. And like now that I look back, and then me raising my kids more Mexican, you know, I try to balance being my mom and then being me, and it doesn't work. I'm a Mexican mom. I'm just like, siéntate la chingada. Usa.
Well,
Sit
I
down,
guess it's
please.
good to. Do they have a relationship with the dad's family?
Yes, yes, they do.
So they have
So
a deep rooted Mexican feel to them as well.
very. My kids are my little frijolitos. So yeah, but yeah, I was about 6 when I realized that I had ADHD. But I always say it was never academically; it was socially, right?
Yes.
It was socially. Like, I just posted a reel the other day that was like, you know, my worst fear is not death or spiders. My worst fear is like telling a story to a group of girls with mean girl energy and them going, anyways. That's my worst
I'm
fear.
gonna fight you. So when I feel that type of disrespect, I get by. I not
I
anymore. I'm a changed woman, but I'm ready to fight.
no, yes,
Like, don't play with me like that because you know what you're doing. And I
yeah.
came to you with like a pure heart, and I was being nice, and I
I'm
thought it was
excited to
funny. And
say,
all you had, I'm gonna fuck you up.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Don't
Yeah.
do me like that. Like, just don't. I used to have a really big problem with getting embarrassed
Yes.
in public. Like, don't embarrass me in public because I don't do that to people. Now we're grown. One of the biggest things that I wanted to talk to you about was, okay, you're 17, you're diagnosed. Does that dawn on you and help you navigate? Because I was 32, if I'm not mistaken, when I officially was diagnosed. So I was
God
late.
damn.
So I was la loca for a very long time.
Okay, yeah, I will say this. When I got diagnosed, I went through an entire like kind of identity crisis while I was thriving at the same time, because I was diagnosed and put on Adderall almost immediately. They gave me a
Oh
placebo
wow.
or a non-stimulant or something. Yeah, a non-stimulant did not work. I was like, y'all are messing with me, right? So, and then they put me on Adderall, like 10 milligrams, something light, algo light. And once I got on that, I remember taking it, and I didn't feel anything. I was my senior year. I was doing my last essay for my AP English class, and I was going, and then my mom was like, Ari, like, didn't you realize something? And I was like, no, mom, like what? Like, I'm busy, like what? And you see how white kids talk to their parents, you know? So I was like, no, mom, like, what's up? And she's like, you've been typing for 2 hours. You haven't gotten up once.
Wow. And that doesn't happen.
And that never happens. And it was in that moment it was a catharsis. It was just like my emotional wastebasket over flooded at that point, and I was like pissed at my mom. And I remember
Mm.
yelling at my mom. All these emotions came out of me, like, and I told her, are you telling me that I could have been doing this shit my entire like my entire years in school? I could have been
Right.
okay? You're telling me, like, you're all the suffering that I did, all the being the messy kid, all the homework in the bottom of the backpack, all the I forgot it at all the, you know, I couldn't focus on the standardized test, everybody making fun of me because I had to walk around in the back of the classroom, you know, like all the going to the special classes because they had somebody to help me focus. All of that could have been avoided if you would have
Right.
just like allowed me to get on medication. So a lot of people are like very iffy about medication, and I understand it, because I would tell you something, it did rob me of my personality a little bit. Like, if I want to be fun, Ari, we're not taking that Adderall.
No.
No,
I
we're not
mean,
taking the Adderall.
I'm still okay when I take it. The max I'll take is 10 milligrams. But
Yep,
usually
same.
I'll break that 10 milligram into lower just because I don't like the way I feel. You also had a video that you posted that I was like, she's like, do you live here? Like,
In your
what's the
head, girl.
and it's the fact that I'll have my medication right next to me and I don't want to take it. And I'm struggling. like hard struggle, like climbing out of a hole. Like I need to do A, B,
And
C,
you
and
know
D.
it's gonna help you, but it doesn't.
I'm very aware that I will be super brain with this, and I refuse to take it. But I don't know why. It's like I self sabotage in a way.
Yeah, it'll be right here, and you're just looking at it, and you're just like, nothing is happening. You're just having a stare
No,
off.
and then I'm
with
like,
your
I
body.
have
Nothing's
something to.
happening.
I have a due date. I'm like, you have an hour, bitch, to get this done, and I stare at it for an hour.
You know, you got 30 minutes. Yeah.
Like it doesn't really work. So what do you feel? What do you think that is? Why is it that we just don't want to take it?
I think part of us knows that. I know for me personally, like part of me knows that once that goes into my mouth, it's a different person. And so I have to like kind of prepare myself mentally to like morph into that Ari, I guess. But the other side of that is we we get, you know, that ADHD paralysis, as we call it, the analysis paralysis, the decision paralysis kind of stuff. And when we know that we absolutely have to do something, we will hit a wall, and it's complete shutdown. It's like kind of like
Yeah.
when you wake up from a nightmare and you feel like, you know, you got an elephant foot on your chest and you can't move, but you're awake, but are you asleep still, and you're kind of just you
Wait,
can't move?
it's like real life sleep.
Yeah,
Ari,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
wait, because this bitch is sitting right here in front of me, to my left. Sorry, it's an endearment, bitch.
She's a nice lady.
And it's my friend, and she's neurotypical. And I was gonna tell, I was just telling her the other day, I was like, yo, the hag, you know, have you ever seen a hag? And
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
no. And I'm like, sleep paralysis. She was like, I've never
Yeah.
experienced that. And I'm like, how have you not? Like, I want you. She's like, why do you want me to experience that? I'm like, because I feel like you're missing out on this. Like, this is a phenomenon. Like, I see it, I feel it. Like, you're about to die and then you don't.
Yeah, it's a paranormal experience, I think. But you need to. But my dear, imagine being humbled that way. You need it. You need it. You know.
You need it. It's a need. You won't understand. Now I understand. Maybe it's a neurotypical thing. It's one of those, like, you need that, like,
I've had the.
no, it's a different.
It was bad. I don't want to be there again.
No, it was great. It was great. But yeah, there is that paralysis happens a lot for me.
And then
Especially
we glitch.
with, like,
and then we glitch.
yeah. Can
We're
you
just
tell
like,
me where Ariana is, please? I'm sorry.
Like we glitch. Walking.
Have
into
you
the
literally
room.
seen that movie? It's with the cards. Is it Mario cards? Yeah, there's no. The punching one. Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes.
And the glitch girl.
Yep.
Literally,
Girl.
that's me. I'm literally in the middle of talking, and the craziest thing is that I actually podcast for a living, right? So I'll be doing interviews, and I'm talking to someone. I'm having a full-blown conversation, just like a regular conversation, and I'll forget what I'm saying mid-sentence. Mid-sentence.
You know what I always say? I didn't need that thought anyways.
That is so good.
I
used to
I've
say,
grown-
era un embuste. Whatever I was going to say, eso era un embuste entonces. I'll be like, I was
Yeah.
going to lie. It was a lie of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Because
mentira.
what does it matter? Oh my God. Okay. So something else that I wanted to talk to you about, and it's being neurodivergent with neurodivergent kids. You speak about it often, and it's not until my son's recent autism diagnosis that I realized, you know what? My kids have two different parents, two different dads,
Mm-hmm.
and they're both right there with me. So I'm like, it's me. I'm what made y'all this way. It wasn't. I can't say it was the parents. I mean, the other one. We're still waiting to make. I'm praying that they will both be just like me, right? Like my daughter's 19, so I see me, and with my son, he's still young. But I'm hoping that it's just this. And for me, when I see them, I'm like, oh, if they're like me and they're neurodivergent,
That's
they're
cool as fuck.
the coolest kids ever. Like,
cool as
thank God,
fuck.
I think I would be bored as hell with a neurotypical kid.
Yo, I gotta tell you something. Bailey, my middle child, she's about to be 9 years old. Sometimes I look at her, and I think like, there's absolutely nothing happening in your head right now. You neurotypical ass kid. Like you just completed your task, and now you're moving to a different task. And then, Luna is over here, my 6-year-old. She's tiptoe walking and doing twirlies and shit. And Oliver just walked into the room and he didn't know why he walked into the room anymore. And Bailey's just over here functioning. Boring. Boring.
So it's 2 neurodivergent, 1 neurotypical.
Yeah.
Wow. So you can visually see
Night and
the
day.
difference in your kids.
Wait, girl, this. People are like, everybody's a little bit ADHD, or oh yeah, like people think everybody has ADHD now, or I do that too, and I'm not ADHD. No, when you have 2 kids, it is night and day. Okay.
Yeah.
How many?
No, I have. Well, my daughter wasn't really she's not hyperactive at
She's
all.
inattentive, huh?
Her Yeah, it's definitely all her attention, like do a task, cannot complete it, mid-sentence, gone, different thought, like she's all of that. My son, it's like he's climbing the walls, the roof of the house, he's under the table, he removed all the toys, like walks in here and touches everything within 5 seconds, he's touched the whole room.
Let's talk about your boy, because this is what I had told you about him when you were doing your story and you were unraveling like all your journey of getting him diagnosed and teachers and this and that. You were everywhere for weeks, like trying. I was watching you through your stories, trying desperately, like, can anybody fucking listen to me?
Yes.
And for your baby. And so everybody listening, I messaged Carla and I said, dude, I just have to tell you this. I sent her some long ass audios and I said, I taught first grade. I taught 8th grade, and then for the majority of my teaching career, I was teaching freshmen in high school. So during my years as an educator, it was night and day seeing how Black and brown boys were treated versus white boys when it came to like ADHD diagnoses or accommodations within the classroom, right? It was night and day, and it was absolutely disgusting. Okay, what I saw, and the thing is that when you have a little black boy or a little brown boy running around, like running, bouncing off the walls and this and that, I've literally been in a parent conference meeting where the principal suggested that it was his diet. Okay, the principal asked the mom if she gave him a lot of sugary drinks before school. Okay. Now, when I was in parent conferences with other, with little Steve Jones, I don't know, some white kid name, I don't know. It was
Billy.
more like Billy. Yeah, I feel like all the Billies have ADHD too, though. But like they got something wrong with their teeth too. So I feel like those parent conferences went more like, have you taken him like to see your family practitioner? Like, what are you gonna tell the Mexican kid? Like, es que pones mucho manteca en los frijoles. Like, what? Like, no, like it's a brain thing. It's a brain thing. But it's crazy. That's why I brought it up to you. It's just the way that they're perceived. I've seen it firsthand. It's wild.
And I'll definitely say thank you to you, because those couple of weeks were really rough for me. I would say it was like 4 or 5 weeks where it felt like not a soul was listening to me. No one could help me. It just felt so dark and lonely, because even the friends that I do have that see it and understand that there's nothing they can do for me. It's like, this is all healthcare and politics, essentially. It's all that it is. So when I got that message from you and from so many, literally hundreds of women that sent messages to me, but I'm listening to your voice note and I'm like, you were in there, you see it, and it's validating to me. Like, I'm not going crazy with my son. Although they diagnosed him with autism level 2 and ADHD, and they hit him with the whammy, bam, 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 like 5 things. Just, I was like, damn, calm down now. I just needed one.
They were there making it rain with the dollars and shit.
Throwing all the diagnoses. But I'm grateful for it, because of that, I'm always able to go past the fact that he is a little black brown boy that is going into trying to get help, and they're like, well, I guess this must be that bad. If he would have just had one, and I'm pretty sure the psychologist knew it, if he was just had one or something,
I bet you that's why she layered it on thick, because if not, you don't get heard.
Right. And I do feel like he definitely leans, and I tell this to everybody, he leans way more into his ADHD side than anything autism. But then at the same time, I'm like, then just say autistic also, because I force myself to have eye contact with people. Like, it's so, I'd be feeling so uncomfortable. Do you ever force yourself to keep eye contact?
Uh, if you look at this podcast back, if anybody's watching this on YouTube, my autism is showing. It's much more than my titties. It's also my autism because eye contact. I don't even know where I'm supposed to look, and I didn't ask where I'm supposed to look because I don't care.
Right. It's like I'll be looking around, but there's times that I'm having a conversation, especially business wise, right? I'm having business conversations and I'm looking and I catch myself kind of like all over the place and I'm like, bitch, focus. So I'll find something on their face or something on their clothes to like just focus on. And I'm like, I just can't look at you in the eyes. First of all, I think it's creepy as fuck. Like, do you look at people with their eyes when you talk to them? It's fucking creepy. Like,
It's
I just
the
feel
appropriate level of eye contact. But what even is that?
what is that? Like, I think 5 seconds straight on, it's just enough. And then I need to like a quick
But
reset, a up
bitch,
or down.
no,
I don't know.
but bitch, you say 5 seconds, and now the second I get off of here and then go out in public again, I'm gonna be like, she said 5 seconds. She said 1, 2,
Yes.
4, 5. Now I'm gonna look down. Do I do another 5 seconds? 1, 2. Oh no bag, thank you. Like, and they're gonna be like, ma'am, are you gonna pay? 4, 5. So I mean, I don't. I've just started blurting out like, I'm on the spectrum.
Me too. I feel like people will respect it more. I have a really big business contract that I have, and I'm speaking to the COO of a very well-known director. And I just came out and told him, I said, I'm on the spectrum. And he said,
A bitch is autistic, sir.
No, they started laughing and they were like, what? And I'm like, oh no, I'm serious. And they're like, no way. And I was like, why do you think I have an assistant and a producer on every call? It used to annoy them. Like, so we have to CC them every time they have to be here? Yes. If you want me to retain any of the information that you guys are giving me for it to actually be executed, whatever I say in this meeting, I forgot. The second after I say it, I forgot it. I am on to the next thought. So you don't believe me when I tell you that I'm autistic? I am. I just don't know where on the spectrum I like because I've never actually gotten tested for it. All I've had is ADHD, and I do also know that ADHD has a lot of the same symptoms as autism. What are some of your symptoms that you're like definitely on the spectrum?
Definitely for me, it's a lot of the sensory stuff, which I know is ADHD related as well. But it's a lot of the like missing social cues, and it's really funny because like whenever I'm in public, I think probably about every like rato, like 10 minutes, I think to myself, like, you're doing a really good job, Ari. Like, nobody here thinks you're weird right now. Like, every 10 minutes, I have to do a check-in with myself. Like, did we haha at anything, or did we add an interesting tidbit, but not too much, you know? Like, so I gotta do little check-ins with myself. Like, I think for me, it's socially, maybe just not picking up on what's an appropriate topic, but then again, I did make a living making social media things that are inappropriate topics. So I mean, I do say the shit that I need to say, and I get paid for it, so that's great. But I mean, like, it's socially for me, and then the sensory things, like I said, and also just like I don't like people touching me.
Oh my gosh!
I'll go like
you.
this. You know, we do a little hand flappy thing, right? Come on, we do. I know you do that shit.
I'm doing something with my hand.
I know you do. I'm not even Italian, okay? But I might as well be. So if somebody comes like, "Hey, how are you?" I'll be like, "Hi." You're not on the list. You can't just do that.
How about with okay, so there's two kind of people. Your kids. How are you with physical touch with them?
When I want to initiate physical touch, I'm a very all over you, like bien amorosa, empalagosa with my kids. I want to kiss them all over. I want to squeeze them. I want to pinch them, everything, okay? But when I'm doing something and they're like, mom, 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 I'm just like, what? I can't.
Yes. So that happened to me. I got really, really backlash a few years back because I was doing a video. It was live with my daughter, and had just moved to Jersey, and the guys that were transporting 150 what is it milliliter breast milk. How much was it? Ounces, 150 ounces of breast milk. From Florida to Jersey, they lost them. 150 ounces of frozen breast milk.
That's a lot of work.
I was so upset. So we were showing some, like, people were sending us gifts for the new house that we had moved into or whatever in Jersey, and like helping with the baby stuff. So we're unpacking things, and my daughter, I was talking about losing the breast milk. I was really upset about it. Like, I really was hurt. Like, that's some shit. So
Yeah.
she goes to try to hug me or like,
Oh, baby.
and I was like, don't touch me.
Yep.
But she knows, like, especially if I'm in a, I mean, she was younger, and I do feel bad about it, but it's like, you've been with me all your life. You still don't
Yeah.
fucking get it. Like, I keep telling you, but I can understand her seeing me as her mom. So in true ADHD fashion, we had to fuck something up. But it's fine because no one noticed. Because guess what? We get to edit it.
And we love that for us. No, but you know what?
Me
we
too.
were just talking about like our kids touching us and everything, and us being overstimulated, and how you got some flack for on a live, like telling your daughter like, don't touch me right now. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I think most of my mom guilt comes around me just not being able to regulate myself enough to be a compassionate, coherent parent. That is where most of my mom guilt comes from, because when I was younger with my mom, something that I hold trauma, I have a lot of trauma with still, is whenever she would be watching the news, because my mom is autistic too. Like, bitch, please, we know you are. Like, come on, Catherine. So, so her hyperfixation was always politics, and we have a propensity for social justice and everything. So she was always very involved with social justice in our community and this and that. So her thing was putting on her news, and if I would say like, "Mom, watch my dance routine," or "Mom, look what I can do," she would go like this. She would be like, remember back when TiVo was a thing, the DVR, when those came out, she'd be like, she'd pause it. She'd be like, "What, Ari?" And I would just be like, "Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bother you."
Yeah.
That caused the most childhood trauma for me from my mom. Like I said, the lady did not whoop my ass, but she did ignore me.
And that's where some of the trauma comes from.
That's literally all my trauma is being fucking
Wow.
ignored, because I wanted to say something to my mom, and it was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like, am I bothering you?" Like,
And you find yourself doing that now?
oh yeah. Well, no, not to my kids. I try my best to be like, I'll blow off somebody talking to me. I'll turn off the TV completely. Like, I will stop what I'm doing. I will burn the food just so I can be like, "Yeah, baby, what do you need?" But I've also learned how to say, like, in those times where I am overstimulated, I also learned how to say like, "You know what, mama? Now right now, mama needs a minute to breathe, because I don't want to get upset at you for no reason." Straight. And they're just like, all right, cool.
Wait, and you've done this all along since young? Because you said you had your baby, what, 17, 18?
Yes, no. Okay, so I didn't always do this. Like, let me not like feign some kind of superiority here. Um, I was a completely shitty mom. I think I was completely overstimulated when I was going through. So I graduated high school and I went to university right away with my son. And so doing homework and then having a little baby and stuff, like, yeah, like I used to scream at my son, and I'm not proud of it. And he was little, he was like 2, 3 years old. And I'd be like, "Oliver, like, leave me alone." Because I was a
Yeah.
kid raising a kid, hello, this is why we don't have babies in high school, guys. But I didn't know how to regulate myself, and then much less like be a parent, like.
Yeah.
And so I had to, I think my mom had a come to Jesus moment with me, like, kind of hypocritical of her, but she was just like, "Ari, like, you're kind of mean to Oliver." And I was like, "Oh, am I? Am I?" But I realized, like, why am I getting so short with the 3-year-old? Like,
Right.
that's ugly behavior. That's when I started changing.
Damn. Well, shout out to you. Kudos to your superiority. I don't even know the word.
Blah, blah, blah.
Superiority. The word, that one. Because it took me much, much longer than that. I don't think that I knew what was going on. I mean, I guess you were also diagnosed at 17, so maybe you kind of found out a little bit more about
I
what
had a jump
ADHD
start.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter got the side of me that it was completely overstimulated all the time. It was too much going on. I was still trying to be normal in this neurotypical world, and it wasn't working. Doing it on my own. Everyone's like, why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? Do this, do that, putting all this stuff on me that
I don't
I just
fucking
couldn't do it. I
know.
was so overstimulated. So now my son is getting a different version of me, and I can see how my daughter, I'm sure, I know, I've paid for the sessions. She's like in front of her therapy. It's like, my mom
I don't know
fucked
that
me up
lady.
in A, B, C, D, E, in all these different ways. And she's that, and she's this, and she's that. And I'm like, fuck, I'm so sorry, because if I would have known then what I know now, I could have been so different with you. But I wasn't, and I didn't have it. And now with my son, I'm all over him. But then there's times that he's like trying to touch or play, and I'm like, stop touching me. You have to stop touching me. It's too much for me. But on the other side, and I don't know if you're the same way, when it comes to a significant other or like a lover,
Oh, baby, touch
please,
me all the time. All the
in
time. If you are
my
not touching me, do
skin.
you hate me? Do you hate me?
You must think I'm butt ugly. You have somebody else. You're absolutely,
What's
you have to
her
be going to someone
name?
else. Yes,
What's
you're
her
going to
name?
somebody else. That's it. Like, why is your hand not in my pants while I'm walking down Walmart aisle 7? You should not be able to keep your hands off me.
You haven't grabbed my titty today. You
Hey,
have not
it
grabbed
is
not
Titty
one titty.
Tuesday and it's 9 a.m.
And
I don't
have two of them.
understand.
I have two of them, and you're gonna tell me you haven't grabbed one?
I don't understand. So, but I don't
Absolutely.
want that from other people. I want it romantically.
Exactly. Because hello, I think that also stems from all we ever fucking wanted was to be wanted and not
Mm.
feel like a fucking nuisance. And our person can do that for us. And I know, some
Yeah.
people might make the comment like, well, you shouldn't rely on somebody else to make you feel whole. Bitch, he makes me feel a whole and a half, okay? So, like, there's no halfsies here.
Right.
Like,
What I don't know if you've ever, because clearly all I pay attention is to your ADHD shit and your parenting. Um was there a specific reason why your last relationship didn't work? Because he's not the one that died.
he's not the one that died. No.
He's
He was the
alive.
one. He's alive. I'm dead. So he was the one that was 17 years older than me.
Holy shit, un viejo.
Un viejo por decir. So, actually, his ashes are. I'm just kidding.
Under my nails. They're here. Let me take the grit out from my pinky and my other finger. Is there,
no.
do you feel like there was something specific that like
Yes,
landed you
yes,
in
yes.
that?
Yes, because obviously, yo no tenía papá.
Ah.
So it was a daddy issues thing, and it was definitely the like I'll take care of you. Da, da. He was very patient with my ADHD. He always said, "Mami, no pasa nada, no pasa nada. Yo te hago todo." But let me tell you something. I realized now, being in another relationship, a very healthy relationship, that he enabled me. And you can't tell me that a man 17 years my elder did not know what he was doing. He
Right.
enabled me to be like complacent and kind of stagnant because I'll do everything for you, right? Y luego el vato se va y yo me quedo sin nada. Por pendeja. Ouch. Like, obviously, like a fucking idiot, right? So I had to learn my lesson there. I was like completely reliant on him emotionally, and he was like my parent almost. This is sounding grosser and grosser as we go. But anyways, because he was so patient. He was so patient with my ADHD, and he never made me feel less guilty, nothing. But little by little, it started turning because we're susceptible to people manipulating us, okay? Right?
Yeah.
All with the facade of like, I want the best for you. So every time I would, put my phone to go do a reel or something, because that's how I make money, he would be like, I always on your phone, always on your phone. And I'd be like, well, I'm making a reel. And he would, who are you trying to impress, Ariana? And when
Oof.
those things, like, ¿qué buscas? Buscas pura atención. ¿Qué? ¿De hombres que te tiran piropos? No. I'm trying to literally educate people about ADHD. And if I look sexy as a motherfucker doing it, then that's just genetics, baby. That's
Right.
not like, look, that it was really, it got toxic that way. And I stopped doing content for a year. I barely
Shut
started
up.
again. I barely started again.
Wow.
So
I
I
didn't
got
that's
super manipulated. Yeah.
that sucks because I ended this podcast for a little over a year. I didn't pod here. I had to do things for him, but everything was over safety. He was a security guard. I'm keeping you safe. Like there's people trying to get you and trying to get me and trying to get us and safety, safety,
He
safety, and
was a what?
constantly sending. He was a security guard, like a no bodyguard, security guard. A what? An unlicensed bodyguard. Let's go there. Unlicensed celebrity bodyguard.
Se creó
Um,
muchísimo.
yeah, ya no tiene donde ni cagarse encima. But that's besides the point.
It's
Okay.
not too heavy on my boy. We got something.
Oh shit.
We got something
On the
in
caga?
the works.
It's always in the works. Whatever he got is always in the works. Always on the works.
We gotta wind it
But
down.
that's literally what it was all the time.
I
That
think it
it
was their
was
insecurity.
safety and it's and it was there and I'm gonna keep you safe and I'm gonna provide for you like no one's ever provided for you. It's like you don't have to do it on your own anymore. Like you've been you know your parent that your daughter's son is not around to help, your father passed away, your mom's not really in your life like that. So I'm here to fill that gap. And I was like, fuck yeah, I need that. And in my brain, I'm like, I romanticized all of it because that's literally what I had been yearning. And I just ignored so many other red flags.
Or you
Although
just think
they're
like
really good.
this they always are. They always are until they're not. But yeah,
Right.
and I think I also romanticized things because I didn't have a dad, like I said, and so I wanted that family structure, right?
Yes, I want it
So
so bad.
yeah, and so we were together for 5.5 years. My daughter
Shit.
is my husband passed away when my daughter shortly after my daughter was born, my youngest, and so I got with him a little bit after that, and it was just too soon. And it was a great disservice to my kids. It's trauma that I'm still having to heal within them. It's apologies that I'm still making for jumping into a new relationship. But my daughters were like 1.5 and 6 months when I got with him, and so
Wow.
they that was dad to them. They didn't know their real father.
That's even
So
harder to let go of.
yes, but you know what it was? I woke up one day and I was like, I was not doing well financially because I wasn't making was not doing content. Um,
Mhm.
and I was like, you know what? He has not replaced the money that he has cost me in my pocket, in my household, enough to where I'm satisfied with doing what he says.
That part. I love the way that was like the perfect explanation. You're literally making me do A, B, C, and D, want me to stop doing what was actually making me money. And you just said it perfectly. You haven't replaced that money.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
So you got to
No,
go. That is the breaking point, and I hope that anyone listening to this, if whether they have ADHD or not, I
get your
think you
money.
can get manipulated regardless. It's like they make you stop what you're doing. They
Get your
make you
money.
literally be in a position where you have to depend on them, but then they don't even provide. They provide the bare minimum for you to know that you have a roof over your head and you ate a little bit. You might be a little hungry. And your lashes ain't gonna be done, your hair's not gonna get done. And I'm like, but I used to afford myself all of these quote unquote luxuries, these things that I
Mhm.
love, but they're no longer there. But then they tell you, but do you need it?
They convince you that you don't need it.
It's like these
How
girls
how
these hoes are the ones that do lashes. What?
look, Carla.
What you want your lips done so you can suck dick? Like what?
Carla, tell me how. Okay? I love a good classic manicure, okay? Tell me how this man bought me a gel kit to do my nails at home to save money.
But why are we saving money? If you got
Why
it
are we
like that, you want
saving
me to stop working.
money? Why are we saving money? This is, it was those the breadcrumbing of like,
Yes.
let me just take little by little, take it away, right? But all under the guise of like, but don't worry, you're safe. And we convince ourselves because like they don't blame us for our ADHD stuff. They're not mean to us. They're nice to us, and
Well,
don't
mine was
baby.
mean.
Oh,
There's a
oh, there's
different
that.
episode. It's fine.
There,
It's a
yeah.
different episode.
But I for me it was just like I didn't catch on to the manipulation until I started seeing my pockets empty. And one thing about me is you're not gonna tell me that I can't buy those Doritos and Oreos for my babies.
Uh-uh.
You're not gonna tell me that we're not getting the box of fruit snacks. You not nope. This has directly affected the food from my children's mouth. Go fuck yourself.
Did you do it pretty
Disrespectfully.
quickly?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was like, I gotta go buy.
It was
Well, you
it
gotta
was
go.
so quick. It was so quick that he was like, "There has to be somebody else," and there actually was nobody else. I was just like, "No." And he was
Doesn't
like,
that
"How
feel
are you?"
so good?
Oh, it was a
To
clean
know that I'm
plate.
like, I'm not even leaving you for somebody else. You're just that whack.
You were that whack.
Yeah,
vales-
that's it. I really.
Tú vales vergota, güey. Así de grande.
No, and that part is like, ellos se creen that they're that good. Like, I'm so perfect. There's no way that you not leaving me because someone else is manipulating you into leaving me. No, I do. You are that shitty. You really are, and you don't see it.
Yes, exactly.
But
and you know the difference.
that whole part I was saying, because dating again, how long have you been single now?
So
Well, how long
gonna
were you
use-
single?
we're gonna use the word single lightly. But
I was like, were. So I was like, how long were you single?
I was only single for 3 months. I was only single for 3 months, and I didn't. I was enjoying my time with my kids. I was, we were doing whatever the fuck we wanted. Like, I mean, that was the best part, right? It was just like I got to connect with my kids again because at the end of the day, I do believe to a certain extent I enjoy catering to my man, right? I enjoy making him feel special. I believe that my kids should see a healthy relationship dynamic of being in service to each other. But every time I was in service to him, I was in disservice to my kids. I couldn't find that balance. So anyway, so I just had a great time in those couple of months, like just reconnecting with my kids and being very present and like taking off on trips, doing whatever the fuck we wanted, making content, making money. And
Right.
and then this motherfucker came out of nowhere.
Yeah, where'd he come from?
I didn't even invite him into my life.
Where'd he come from? Because he's not even in the same state.
No, yeah, I'm literally sitting in his TikTok studio right now, and he's a creator as well. And I'm in a different state right now. So anyways, yeah, that's it's wild. And he came in one day and was just like, just take your time, but actually, like you're the one for me. And I was like, this is called love bombing. However, the difference was immediately he was like, Ariana, how much money are you making off of your content? That's unacceptable. You need to be making more. There is no way that you can make it with your kids on that. You need to be making more. I need to check your analytics. I need to check your algorithm. I need to do everything because this is how he makes his living. Like he's super into all of that stuff. And I was like, I don't know. Here. And he was like, what the fuck? And immediately he was like, absolutely not. Okay, we're gonna make a content calendar. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. You need to double check your settings on TikTok. And he was like, look, yo te doy todo lo que tú quieras, y para tus niños también. I'll give you guys whatever you want, but I want to put the tools in your hands so that your kids can see their mother successful. That's the difference. My ex said, I know you have your, master's and your teaching credential and everything, but you don't really need to be in the classroom. Why don't you just stay on home?
Do you think that there's a time limit for us? Because we know we jump into things really fast and we romanticize and
I'm scared.
Because
I'm scared, Carla. I'm scared as fuck. But
because I told when we first got on, Paula, she was like, I'm gonna marry this guy. And I bust out laughing, but I only start laughing because I tell you guys that, like, within 2 seconds, I'm like, I love him. That's my husband. Like, we're getting married.
I love girls.
I say I'm getting married, and they laugh at me. And they're like, "Here she goes again." So I laughed at you because you're the first person I've heard like kind of say that from a newer relationship.
I know that that's our propensity to jump into shit. I get it. But here's the thing: if I look back at my patterns and stuff, like he's different. Imagine we break up and we're like, we edit this later, and then I'm just embarrassed. No, I don't think it's gonna happen. Anyways, but
I have that years of that content. Okay.
I don't give a shit. I'm so confident in this that si me ven la cara de pendeja, me la ven. I don't care. I don't care. But
I mean,
like
it is what it is if you're happy right now.
yeah, like he put the tools in my hand immediately on day 3, and then he was like, "By the way, we're going 3 days talking." He said, "By the way, do you like Fuerza Regida?" And I said, "Yeah, I fucking love Fuerza Regida." He said, "Good, because we have box seats in Vegas. You're coming with me." Day 3, day 3, and
See,
then
that's the thing. Don't let nobody come to me with that bullshit because I am going to fake give him a baby. Like,
look, my
take
tubes
me
are
to see
tied, but
Usher.
my tubes are
You
tied, but
give me
I'll swallow them.
box seats to Usher, and you tell me it's to Alicia Keys, Adele, and tells me order whatever you want off Fashion Nova.
Oh, and then I didn't even tell you the best part. Yeah, ooh, the Fashion Nova thing that would be lit. So then why are you not linking your stuff in your stories? I've been stalking your stories. Like I've been after you for a while, girl. Like but and he's like, why are you not linking your stuff? Like I know bitches want to know like where'd you get that dress? Where'd you get your da 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 da? Like
Oh, that's why you've been
he said,
linking stuff.
yeah, because he was like, why
You
are
made
you
me
not
buy
making
some
money?
shit, by the way. Shout out
Did
to
you
him.
get the bodysuit? Did you get the bodysuit?
I did.
I love her. I love her. Anyways, link in the bio.
I took it to a recording that I had this weekend and I didn't put it on. I put it on once, but I couldn't really tell like if it made a difference. And I think I'm still too gorda for it. So
Girl, I love that thing. It gives me another like inch in the waistband. Anyway, so he goes, um, he was like, you need to be linking your stuff. And I said, you know what? I don't know how to tell you this without sounding like una pobrecita, pero I actually get all my clothes from thrift stores and the clearance rack at fucking Marshall's. Like I live in a very small town. Like we don't have much there, first of all, to shop. And second of all, like I'm just a thrifty, savvy person. I've always been that way. Even when I had the money to shop, like I'm just a thrifty fucking person. And I was like, I can't link anything because I don't buy anything online. I repurposed stuff. And he was like, hold on. He sends me $175 on Apple Pay. And he says, can you please buy some stuff from Amazon? Use this, get stuff from Amazon and link it. We can make a content calendar to, over the course of a month, what you're going to link, but order the stuff.
how much head did you give him?
So much.
And he deserves it. He deserves it. You also posted the video when
So
he sent you the
much.
chargers.
Okay, yes, because I'm on the phone with him, right? We're just getting home from sports and the kids are nasty and I'm trying to get dinner. Ay, yo tengo los frijoles ahí en la estufa todo. And I'm like, I'm screaming at my kids. And then my phone dies, right? And then I'm like, ¿quién carajos agarró mi charger? Like, kids, where's my charger? And they all look at me like, because they all know. My last charger, they broke it, yanking their iPad off, okay? And so I finally go to my car, charge my phone to call this motherfucker back because I'm obsessed with him, okay? And I'm sitting in my car, in my garage, right? And I'm like, this is my life now, wow. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, my kids broke my last charger, so I'm sitting in my car. And he was like, oh, that's all right. Yeah. Oh, what kind of iPhone do you have? I was like, I don't know, the one with the 2 circles in the back. I'm not a tech person. And he's like, all right, cool. He's like, well, your new chargers will be there on Wednesday. That's an ADHD love language right there because I can say that I'm going to order some, but I'm not going to order them. Why are they in my Amazon cart still?
Yo, I don't even like hugging people and I want to hug you because my cart will be like $500 because I've been putting shit in it for like 3 weeks. And I'm like, I got to order this. Then I'll go in and I'm like, shit, I never ordered it.
You keep convincing yourself that you don't need it. You keep convincing yourself that you don't need a new dish brush. You have to wash your dishes, Carla.
Literally, it's essential things like paper towel, groceries, like something I need here for the studio. Like it'll be like shirts for the baby or socks. I really don't go to the store. Shout out to you for going thrifting. Can't do it. It's too much going on.
I do it to avoid my real life.
That makes sense because that's when I end up in Target and Home Goods. I don't like Home Goods. I don't even decorate. But I end up buying stuff. I actually have a whole bag. I have candles in my car right now I bought last week at Target and TJ Maxx for no reason.
Girl,
Because I was in a trance of not wanting to come home and do my work.
That urn stealing man's gonna come jack those candles from you. You better get him out of your car.
I seriously, like I leave stuff in the car or I'll buy things literally because I have something else to do and I don't want to. Okay, so we have very much established that there are so many things about us that we don't see. The only one that I want to touch on before we go to our letter and wrap things up is you mentioned it recently, and I wanted to get a deeper conversation on that. It was your low sex drive
Oh,
or a low sex drive.
girl. I know everything that you heard
I
from my mouth. You're like, how does this girl have a low sex drive? Well, let's talk about it.
literally because I get asked. People think I'm like a hypersexual person for whatever reason. I thought I give like, I don't know, different type of vibes, but I give to a lot of men. They're like, "Oh, you must have sex, or you this," and I'm like, my sex drive is low. I'll get there. I say I'm sapiosexual because you mentally have to stimulate me. You have to do
Yes.
certain things, and without mentally stimulating me, this pussy will not work.
Girl, how are you gonna be down there? Listen, how are you gonna be down there having me wonder if there's dirty dishes in the sink? How are you gonna be down there and I'm thinking about how I gotta return an Amazon package? How are you gonna be down there?
Yes.
You know, like I am distracted and
So
you know,
I don't know if you smoke, but smoking and gummies kind of helped me do it. But then I started getting really frustrated. Actually, I don't think I've said this before on the pod. Or okay.
let's
So
hear it.
recently, don't judge me, Ari.
Never.
I paid a lot of money, and we're not talking about just a couple hundred, a lot of money for a sex, what is he? A sex pleasure coach.
Bitch, I thought you were gonna tell me you got a prostitute.
Yes, literally.
So you fucked him?
So everything but.
Okay, like a tantric coach kind of thing?
So you're in a dungeon. I really hope Ariana can't hear this.
Jesus
in
Christ,
her
tell
room.
me more.
Okay, so because we're not in the studio, I gotta like tell you a little bit lower.
Okay.
This is for the episode.
All right, we're doing it.
You sure she can't hear me? Okay, but you can hear me, right? Can you hear me pretty clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I paid for a sex pleasure coach. Basically, we went for 5 hours in a dungeon where they oil you're completely naked, oiled up, fire, toys, different rooms. That he doesn't have sex with you, like he doesn't put his. That's what I thought was going to happen, Ari. Kid you not.
Mm-hmm.
I said
I
I'm
bet
going
you
to
he
pay.
didn't need to. He didn't need to.
I'm going to. I went ahead and paid these thousands of dollars to get in there, and I didn't come once. I was in my head the entire time. I
You were
cried
judging yourself.
the entire time. I smoked, I drank, I was blindfolded. But you know those Instagram massages that you get when you're naked? The
Yeah.
girls, all of that could not get out of my head. But I will say, it wasn't for me. That wasn't for me. I realized I have to like you. I have to be attracted, like really, and you have to. I need to know that you're like. There's just something in you about our conversation, the way you touch me, the way that you
That
do
you
things
care
for
about
me.
me.
Yes, like I need a connection with you. But what I don't know who told me this recently. I think it was Jenna. I'm not sure. One of my friends told me this recently. She was like, "But the way that you have been after that, was it you? Who was it? Was Dex? Dex, my best friend Dex. She was like, after you went there, it's like it
Mhm.
unlocked something. So I had my first one night stand at 37.
And we love
Well,
that for
was
you.
it considered now that? Okay, it's not considered a one night stand anymore. But basically, I met him on a Thursday morning, and by Thursday night, we were in the strip club and at his bed.
You made him yours.
So
You looked him in the eyes and said, you looked him in the eyes and you said, you're coming home with me, baby. That's it.
no, but literally, that's literally how I would have.
That's
never,
all you have to do.
37.
You
I
rocked his
paid
world.
all this money over there to kind of try to unlock something here.
You needed
and
that.
it was cool. I don't think I'm still there in the aspect of like there are women that say that they shake and cry and all these things happen, and I'm like,
Look, bitches be dramatic as fuck. Okay, let's be real. Who does that?
is that what? Do you think that's what it is?
Dramatic as fuck. Why are you
They just wanna
crying?
be so fucking extra.
You needed therapy, not a sex coach. You needed a father in your life, not a sex coach. That's why you're shaking, girl.
Right.
You needed generational healing, not a sex coach.
Has to be something because there's no way I don't get that type of like satisfaction from a man and all that stuff. It's a cool, yes, and I feel super connected. I
I feel
feel
like I'll
super
be like,
connected to them.
¿Qué te crees? ¿Te crees muy muy? Okay, make me come then.
Right.
Then
But
why didn't I come? If you're so okay, calm down, Bruce, please.
Right. Like I really like it though. And I'll be like, oh, we just did some crazy things to my level of crazy.
Mhm.
And it's like we had fun and it's fun. And not one of them will say that it wasn't a good time for them. And it was a good time for me, but it's nothing that I'm gonna say like, I'm gonna not make a bag or go get a bag to have sex instead. Or I'm gonna leave having a good time with my friends. It's like when I'm done and I'll meet you.
Yeah. We done?
Like
We cool?
I want to come, but it's like I'll get there in a minute. Wait for me. I literally did that one day. It was like I'll see you when I get there. It was an hour and a half. He was waiting outside of my house, and it's like I'll be there when I get there. When I'm done having fun, like I'm not gonna run for it. So do you feel like that the same or no?
I'm sorry. Do I feel the same way? I got lost.
Okay. Oh, I love it. Yes, cool. I'm not doing good stuff. Do you feel the same as far as like sex is not like this the end all be all like, oh my god, I'm shaking and losing it, but it still can be enjoyable with the right person.
Absolutely. Okay, so I feel like first of all, I come first. Always. Okay. Orgasms over bitches. Okay, so I come first. That's my priority because then my mind gets unlocked and now I'm all about you. So if I come first, I don't get distracted. I'm focused on I, I can come quick within the first 5 minutes. I'm good. You know,
Okay.
homie does his job. So I mean, like, but after that, um, you only got a little bit of time before I get distracted again.
I love it. Yes.
So like, but the more I'm into you, and the more you know what it is for us, bitch. The more foreplay goes into it, the more everything is taken care of externally, so that when we're in the bedroom, there's no worries. The more talking that we do, talk to me, keep me present. Tell me I'm a good girl.
Please.
Tell
A
me what you
quiet
like.
one drives me crazy.
Yes. Oh my
I'm in my
God.
head and I'm like, am I fat? Is it the wrong angle? My ass, I definitely farted. Did I fart? Did
No.
it stink? My pussy stink. Why aren't you talking to me?
Nope. Tell me I taste good. Tell me I look good. Tell me you like it. Tell me all of
Tell
that.
me this
And
ass is fat.
tell me it's fat.
Lie to me. Lie to me.
Lie, baby. What's the problem? What's the problem? And you know what the thing is, that they're not even lying. You know what I realized? They're not even lying. Like I got a cottage cheese ass as a motherfucker. Like I got the cellulite and all that. Like they don't even care, because when they're really about you, like you look like a fucking tres leches cake at a birthday party. And they're ready for cada leche. You know what I mean?
Te quieres la leche.
Me saca las tres.
Okay, so essentially, have you ever wanted to have like this crazy hoe face? Because I never had one.
Yes, I've had a crazy hoe phase. You need a crazy hoe phase. And I will say this, and people in my small town listen.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes. People in my hometown listening, if you saw me, no you didn't. Okay. So I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it because I was very open with the people that I spent time with, about boundaries, and look, this is like hasta aquí llega. This is only going until here. It was just really clear. Like,
so you still had some type of like connection with the person.
Yeah, so I've never been sexual with somebody that I didn't like. Yeah, you're right. So I guess is that really a hoe phase then?
Because no, okay. The master over here said no. Because to me, a hoe phase is, and I could be wrong, I'm not the person that does the thing. For me, a hoe phase is you can go on Hinge and be like, oh, let's hook up tonight, hook up, never talk to them again. Or maybe hook up with someone.
But the conversation at least has to be good within those first 10 messages or something. If you're dumb as a door, you're not gonna get outside of the app.
I know so many women that when they talk about their whole face, they just, as long as you look good, don't talk to me. Like they'd be like, "Don't talk to me at all. Just come, do what you got to do, and leave."
Oh,
I
no,
If you
baby.
don't talk to me,
No,
no,
baby.
no, 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 no,
No.
I can't do it.
Mm-mm.
We have to have something in common. No, no, no. We have to have something in common. We have to have common interests. You have to make me laugh. You have to like buy me a drink, take me to dinner,
I don't need all
or
that,
at
but
least,
I do like to laugh.
or at least
Like,
take like Uber
be
Eats.
considerate. Right, be
Yeah.
considerate. Right, it just
Yeah,
a
or at
little
least
thing.
have
Yeah,
snacks at the house, like some good snacks beforehand or something like, or I just need some type of interaction where I feel connected to you.
yeah. I don't know any. Honestly, in my conversations with women over the years on social media, I don't know any ADHD woman, and I say woman because I know ADHD men who can objectify the fuck out of a woman and just block it
Right.
off. But women, neurodivergent women, we need some kind of nurturing.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be adorable and stuff. He could be choking you, but if you
No.
feel nurtured, if that's like, it takes me.
Yes.
Like we need a compliment because we're very self-critical and self-conscious and everything, and we're not going to be able to unlock that kind of Pandora's box unless we feel like this guy fucks with me.
Yes, for sure. And as long as clearly I've been bamboozled, so as long as you pretend,
Just pretend,
you got me.
baby.
It's like, I love you. Can we get married? Like down to the courthouse tomorrow? Like,
Yeah.
don't let a man listen to this and send me some chargers.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Look, listen. How are you gonna send me
It's
some chargers
over.
and not be my husband? How are you gonna send me some chargers and not be my
What?
husband?
You are Mr. Carla Ramirez. What the fuck you mean? You're mine forever. Forever. Okay,
you are
so we
Mr.
have one letter
Ariana.
and then we're gonna wrap up. Because why my phone's tripping? Come on. I need a charger.
I got an extra one.
Okay, let's see. We do have a letter. So usually somebody will send a letter in or a question or for advice and then send it to askcarlawamers@gmail.com. Oh, yes, thank you. But do we have any questions in the audience? Anyone need any advice? Okay, great. Susie, let us know. What is your question?
I have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, which is probably one of the fun mental health diagnoses, and I am
Best-
unmedicated.
Best pussy disorder.
A lot of people would say that. But I've been going to therapy, intense therapy, for the past couple of months, and Carla always wants me to do better for myself because she sees so much potential.
It's not just
So I've been
potential.
thinking of trying to be celibate for a year
Do
to
it.
see if it'll like make me be a better person, or if the way that I do things and how I see relationships, if that's part of like my mental health disorder.
I'm gonna cry. I'm so proud of you.
Why are you crying? This is nothing to cry about. She's always this is why I don't share nothing.
This is so good.
Can you just let us
Okay.
be emotional, please? Jesus, let us
Literally,
cry.
yeah.
We're
It is
happy.
but it's a good cry only because.
Yeah.
Okay, finish. Sorry.
No, because I don't know if it's like, okay, I don't want to get on medication permanently. I don't want to get on medication because it robs me of my amazing personality. And it makes me like think too deep about stuff, and I don't like that.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's something that I need to like chill out for like a year. Let's do small goals, 3 months.
Yeah, let's
And
do
then
small
move into
goals. Yeah, let's do smart
Okay,
goals.
I mean,
because-
I don't even think you should look at it in months or year. I think it's just today. Every day you're gonna wake up and say, "Today I'm choosing
Today I
this,"
said no to several times.
and that's
will
all
challenge-
you need to focus on.
I will challenge you. Okay, I will challenge you with this. Do you seek validation through casual text messages and like DMing and stuff like that? Like
Seeking validation could look very different, Paula.
okay. So
Oh no, no, I'm
I
not. I'm
think
not
you-
saying like. Do you seek sexual attention? Do you find? And if this is too personal, let me know. But do you find that your sneaky links and stuff in your DMs, it all tends towards the sexual? Do you get fulfilled that way? Because that was the case for me. That's what I'm saying. Because can you
make
be
me feel
celibate?
fulfilled.
Can your thumbs be celibate? Because that's the real.
I like to entertain.
Right.
Yes,
So,
see,
and
there
that's
it is.
validation.
That's
I like to
validation.
entertain because
You like
it's
that
funny.
power. Yeah.
It's not even no, it's not a power thing.
Well, it's a control. You know that you can
it's
this.
a challenge because you've seen some of these guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, I got another one.
So
Ooh,
for
I
me,
got another
one, super proud of you for even getting there because
Yes.
you have fun. And it's like sometimes you're like, okay, well, I'm not a crackhead. I'm not out here in the walking the streets and none of that. But I truly do feel, and I did this when I was with in a long-term relationship. We were together for 6 years. And when I decided to cut him off finally and move on and things changed for me, I stopped having sex with him. At Laurent Prophet's, I was going with Laurent Prophet and Alicia to their Bible study. And it was what we were talking about. Sex clouds your judgment.
Yes, it does.
Entertaining people clouds your judgment. And you might be thinking, I'm not doing anything wrong, but that is all energy that can be posed towards something else. And that's all energy and I was seeking validation from him in a sexual way because it's like we were fighting or things were happening. But as long as I could send a text and be like, you want some of this pussy? And he said, I'm on the way. It was the high. Like even just him being on the way, knowing that I can be like, oh, you're in the middle of doing something. Come right now and give me some. I would literally do things like that. So I stopped and I realized I don't even like this person. And honestly, I don't even like who I am right now. So once I stopped doing that, that was in 2017. I turned 30. I think that was within Bible study and within reading certain books. You know, I love me a good book. And
my life has changed after I read a book, and I'm trying to be a better person.
And
because I
reading
feel like
is self-care.
Yes.
I feel like I'm a really cool person. I'm super cool. Everybody loves me. I'm a great person. But I'm like, one, I don't think I want to be alone forever.
No.
Do you feel empty?
No. What do you mean? Empty
ways. When I was going through my No, when I was going through my whole phase, I felt like a vessel. I felt empty. And then I just look at myself in the mirror and just be like,
yeah. I don't feel anything for any of these guys at all. Like I don't feel nothing. Like
but
nothing.
You don't feel
that's what empty is. There's nothing there.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's just I leave. Like literally, like, and all these guys, they're like, at first, like, this is the understanding, this is what we're doing. And they're like, yeah. And then they find out how great I am, and then
that
they're like, let's go to
dopamine.
dinner. And I'm like, no, I don't wanna.
Yeah, it's like, just kidding. Because the high was the chase, the catch, the challenge, and then it's done.
Right. But I also have bipolar disorder, and one of the side effects for bipolar disorder is hypersexuality. Like a ridiculous hypersexuality.
So what is something that you can do without including someone else into that?
I don't know.
You need more toys.
Wait. This was gonna be my advice, okay?
No, her toy was a joke what she linked.
Oh.
No, I linked a jackhammer, okay? On Amazon.
Oh, I thought you was for real. I linked
algo light.
Something algo leve. No, this is my ultimate advice to you with my whole entire heart. Make sure that your thumbs are celibate if your body is going to be celibate, and start reading books. I don't give a shit what you read. Read books, put the phone down for a little bit, because this phone is instant validation, right? And I just also want to kind of backtrack and preface all of this by saying that having sex with multiple people is not morally wrong. If you are a consenting adult, there is nothing wrong with that. But when we can, we've been in therapy and so we can realize the toll that it takes on our psyche, on our mental health and everything, that's the difference. So we're going to be celibate because we want to be healthy mentally, not we're going to be celibate because having sex with multiple people is morally wrong. Let's just preface that, okay? So
I like that.
True.
If I can just suggest, masturbate all the fucking time.
A lot.
I was absolutely fucking feral for those 3 months. And I had the best time. I got to know myself better. I told myself I'm never going to accept freaking mediocre sex again, which thank God I don't have to anymore. But I mean, get all the toys that you want. Get yourself some cute outfits and fuck yourself, bro.
I like that. I like that a lot because I feel like
safe.
It's not necessarily whenever I bring it up to you or to any of my friends that might be like that. It's not about the moral compass. No. For me, it's there's something within you that is so much more. There's so much potential. And I know myself how distracting it can be to do that when you have I just view people that are very I try to look at people that are very successful at what they do, not just monetarily. Like people that are like
Discipline.
wholly happy. Yes, and it's their discipline. And it's just their discipline. When I went to Mexico with Dex recently, we went into this like cave thing, whatever. And I'm like, I need to pray for discipline. I need more
Yes.
discipline in everything that I do. I came back and immediately got me a trainer. I mean, I was going on a TV show that I really need to be physically fit for, but I continued. I didn't end up going, and I said, I'm going to continue. I feel different. The levels that I have unlocked from taking the discipline that I started back in 2017, and it's in ebbs and flows. Because I have times that I'm super disciplined, and there's other times that I fucking crash and burn.
Which is
And
allowed.
and it happens, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta get back on the horse. All right, lose it again. I get back on the horse, and I go, and it's like I unlock another level, and I unlock another level, and it's not the sex part of it. It's not the for me. It's sometimes eating out like crazy, and Uber Eats ridiculous, and I hate the food. One time, I hate the food like 80, no,
But you
70%
like the
of the time.
gratification.
Yes, but I'm like, I order it, it's $60 just for me. Why? Because I can?
Carla.
It's so bad.
Wow.
It's so bad. And I'll do little things like that for a minute, and I'm like, yo, chill out. Order your groceries, cook some more. But it's all about getting there, and reading books will when I get tired of self-help books, then I go to fiction books.
So there's
Ooh,
one thing
that's
that I
smut.
did on purpose to make sure that I don't do certain things or go to certain places. I started sharing my location with you, and I never share my location.
Yes,
It's for
I did
sharing?
that too.
Mhm.
I noticed when you were sharing, but I thought it was just that day for something.
No, it's still
because you
sharing.
usually stop.
I sure do before I go somewhere.
That's
stop
how
it
you make
real
sure that
quick.
you're not manic. That's how you make sure that you're not manic.
And I checked it today. I checked it today.
Oh my God, it's there. You're here in my house.
I checked it today
Right next
before
to
I
me.
answered a text message, and
I
I
am
was
so
like,
proud of you. That's
like, Carla can see where I am, and if she saw where I would have gone, she'd probably be like, "What the hell are you doing all the way over there? Where's Ryland?" Because when Ryland
Where's
leaves,
Ryland?
But see,
I'm really proud of you.
it's super important that you're giving yourself those, little trophies daily. Like,
I'm
hey, I did
trying.
this. I did this. I picked up a book. I shared my location, because there's some people that don't recognize the small strides that they've made, and those are actually big strides. So kudos to you, because
And I think that it,
Go ahead.
being close to a lot of being in the industry that I am, and seeing other people that we see people go up and come down and crash
Hard.
and burn, and then go up, or some that stay steady, or some that are going up, and we see so many different things because social media nowadays just shows us some bullshit, right? And everything seems like a highlight reel, and it's not. So since we don't, that actually was way better than a letter. Fuck a letter. Thanks, Courtney.
That was great. That was fantastic.
That was so good, because it is true. It's two different disorders, right? One is a disorder. The other one's a personality disorder in a sense. No,
Yeah.
kind of.
Personality disorder.
Yeah.
Personality
So
disorder.
even within that, we can say, yours is in a whole different spectrum than ours is, and still we both have to come to the conclusion that we both have impulses in different ways and controlling them. And I think that's even for neurotypicals, for anyone neurotypical, they'll have impulses, they have urges that they want to do, and it takes for them to see women like us that are like, oh, they probably got it all together. No,
No,
you
it's
don't.
okay. It's okay. But discipline
There are
is
days
sexy.
that we're at, right. That's
Discipline
it.
is-
As long as it's
discipline
So
is so
I constantly.
sexy.
Oh, and then you said recently you had gotten. I love the fact that you talked about you're like, I get work done, and I've had all this work done, and you named them.
Yes. There should never be gatekeeping for women, okay? I have 3 fucking syringes. We talked about me being white. My lips were like an 8x11 piece of paper. I swear to God, okay? I have 3 syringes. I have Botox up here in my upper lip for a lip flip. I got my boobs done. I got a tummy tuck. This man better get me a lipo 360 and BBL next year. I told him, okay? But that's what I'm doing. And those things to make me feel good, my mom always says, like, Ari, you are so vain. You are the vanity on you, girlfriend. I don't care. I love myself. I am absolutely enthralled with myself, because the person that I was before did not like herself. And yes, you can say that plastic surgery doesn't solve all your problems. It solved a lot for me.
It solved some. I still have some left, but those other ones are solved.
I gotta look at myself and want to fuck myself.
I like that.
Yeah. No gatekeeping.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show, Ari, because it was enlightening. It felt good to talk to someone who can say,
Yes.
I fucking lost my train of thought. What the fuck did you ask me? I love that, because if I say that to people, I did it. I just recorded 10 episodes this past 2 days in Atlanta. Yeah, 10 episodes. And during those episodes, they're an hour long each. And I'm talking with all these different women, and they'll be talking, and I'm like, what the fuck is she saying? And they're in the middle of talking, and I want to say something, but I'm trying not to interrupt, right? Because I usually interrupt, and I did. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about this. Oh, okay. The lawyer fee, the lawyer fees, the lawyer fees. And now they talked about something else, and I'm still thinking lawyer fees, lawyer fees, lawyer fees. That when someone takes a break, I'm trying to hopscotch, and I'm like, okay, so remember I want to piggyback off of what you said about those lawyer fees, and it's been 10 minutes. I have no idea what happened in those 10 minutes. I did not interact at all. So people are going to notice this while they're watching these episodes, that I am not interacting sometimes for like a few minutes, because I'm just repeating what I wanted to say, waiting to double dutch in, and it's like... I'm like waiting to double dutch, and I'm like, is she done talking? And she, like, don't. There was one time that a girl
dinner with Jenna when we were all sitting down, and she's like, "So I was at this place, and the guy," and you're like, "What happened to? How did he get there?"
Telling me this fucking story, and I'm like, "Wait, don't keep going. How did he get there? Rewind. I can't focus on anything else you're saying because I don't know how the guy got there. You skipped that part, and I can't. It was so frustrating. But anywho, it's really nice seeing someone that is the same way, that's super down to earth, that is willing to pour into others the way that you do. And I feel like you need a podcast, so you got a producer now.
I am sleeping with my producer.
If you want to.
No, not with me. She's sleeping with a producer already.
Multiple producers. East Coast, West Coast, North, South.
I thought we were trying to be better.
Right. I'm like, wait, what you trying to send me to?
Started a week and a half ago.
You're doing great.
Amazing. You're doing great.
So what are some things that you have looking forward to do? Where can they find you? What do you have upcoming? All that fun stuff.
So upcoming, we're going to be making some more content, obviously more consistently. You guys can follow me at Ari.ADHD. It's Ari with 3 A's on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok as much as I'd like to be, but I am there. I'm looking forward to, in this new chapter of my life, to starting more like lifestyle content. Of course, everything's going to be tinged with ADHD because we can't hide this shit. Okay. But I'm looking forward to doing more like fashion or makeup or like lifestyle content, just my pendejadas that I do daily, just not focusing so much on ADHD, you know? And I'm also looking forward to doing some couple content with
Are we
yeah,
gonna show the producer?
Yeah, he did give me a necklace. He like I said, he's a content creator.
Oh yeah,
too,
let's see the necklace. Let's
and
see.
he just by the time this is produced, you guys will probably already know. But he just posted a reel that said like, get her a necklace with your name on it so they know whose neck that is. And then next day it showed up in my door. So yeah.
Ew.
So
Qué rico.
I'm looking forward to doing some more couple content. And just kind of talking about like relationships and advice and stuff, because girl, you know, we give the best advice because it's a non-judgmental area and
the best.
Yeah. So I'm
we're
looking
gonna
forward
tell you
to
everything
growing.
we're going through.
Everything. Too much.
Too much, but it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much for doing the episode. That is another episode of Pivot with Purpose. We'll be back next week. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.